A new title for the recently released show fixes one of the Criminal Minds' biggest problems. Many things about the original run of Criminal Minds will stay the same, but Evolutions has some new things, like a different name. It's a good name for a show with old actors returning to their roles. In this video, we'll discuss how the series title avoids a major reboot problem and the biggest theories from Criminal Minds. First off, how does the new title avoid a major reboot problem? The new name for the new version of Criminal Minds Evolution, fixes one of its biggest problems: the FBI's behavioral analysis units coming back to TV through Paramount+. Not long after its 15-year run on CBS ended, the profilers will miss Spencer Reid and Matt Simmons, but the rest of the squad will still be together as they look for a network of UnSubs that was set up during the coronavirus pandemic. Many things about the original run of Criminal Minds will stay the same, but Evolutions has some new things, like a different name. Criminal Minds Evolution is a good name for the new version of the show that's been brought back by Paramount+. The project's a continuation of its run on CBS.
No.
You scared I might be right?
So it's not a reboot in the sense that the term's usually used. The same people play the same roles, and the same things happen repeatedly. By giving it a different name than Season 16 of Criminal Minds, though, it can be set apart from the CBS procedural without being completely cut off. It also gives the impression that everything in Criminal Minds Evolution is an improved version of the original show, which seems to be the case. Up next, what could we see in the show? It's been a while since their last case on screen, but the characters' stories have kept going. Even though the revival changes the ending of Criminal Minds in a few ways, it's the same thing.
A gun?
Henney, explain something to me.
Still, Paramount Plus can't just call the project Criminal Minds Season 16, because the project's different from the original run in a few crucial ways. This means it'll move away from its episodic storytelling style and become more serialized. It'll also be darker and scarier than CBS's version, followed by the show's a reboot and a continuation. By giving the revival of Criminal Minds a new name, Paramount Plus can make it both a new start and a continuation of the CBS show. It could also be confusing to call it Criminal Minds Season 16 if the project doesn't wrap up every loose plot thread that the last episode left open. This puts a lot of pressure on the new series. The show's official name, Criminal Minds Evolution, makes it clear that it's part of the Criminal Minds brand. This could get some of us who loved the original show to check it out, especially those who haven't been following Paramount Plus's efforts to bring the BAU back to TV. Even though the BAU's going through many changes, they're all for the best. Showrunner Erica Messer and her team are making the most of the creative freedom that streaming gives them over network TV. They're doing this by making an unsub that's more disturbing and giving the profilers a hard time. This makes for a more exciting story. In this way, evolution seems to be the best word to describe the new season of Criminal Minds. Moving on to Evolution's breathed new life into the series. Evolution's quickly found its footing in streaming, which doesn't have the same rules as network TV. This has given a franchise and a type of show that has become common on TV a new lease on life. Even though the BAU is still trying to solve a case of the week, the cases are now part of a larger, season-long storyline. This means that we can learn more about the profilers and criminals' personal lives than the show was able to do in 42 minutes on TV.
Is that what you're looking for? A way to blame this on him?
Also, there's more freedom to have hard conversations about how to deal with grief and trauma, as well as the chance to use adult language that sounds more real to agents who see the worst parts of people every day. Rossi's already lost a lot in his life, but Mantegna seems to enjoy the chance to play a darker, moodier version of this character again. It doesn't hurt that he uses more colorful language in the process. Now, let's look at some of the biggest theories from Criminal Minds. Throughout the run of Criminal Minds, people came up with many theories. Some were reasonable, some were silly, and others were hilarious. As long as the handsome Shamar Moore's character was on the show, the relationship between Derek Morgan and Penelope Garcia was one of the most touching. Moore had come back to the show even though he'd left, so we had a good reason to think that Derek Morgan would show up in the last season for one last time to hug his baby girl. As theories go, this one made a lot of sense. There are a lot of crazy fan theories about shows that have been around as long as Criminal Minds. One of these theories said that the show took place in a parallel universe.
Nice.
I played a little strong safety in college. No idea what that means.
where there were no serial killers or unsubs, and there wasn't enough science to figure out how they killed. In this parallel universe, it took a group of specialists to figure out patterns because the police were so bad at solving even the most basic serial killings. Not to mention JJ and Reid getting together, plus Reid being delusional. The writers threw a curveball at us when JJ told Reid that she loved him in the second to last season. Even though Reid, who's shy and fragile, has had feelings for JJ for a long time, there had never been any sign that JJ might have felt the same way about him. We thought that JJ and Reid would get together in the last season after she told the truth. Will's wife, JJ, would leave him, but nobody knew what would happen to her kids. Also, Reid was an introverted genius with multiple doctorates and perfect memory. The FBI's behavioral analysis unit couldn't have done its job without him. Early on in the show, it was revealed that Reid's mother had paranoid schizophrenia and was in a mental hospital. Throughout the series, Reid himself expressed worry about being diagnosed with the disease, which is passed down from parent to child. There were signs that he might be close to having schizophrenia. Some people thought this meant that the whole drama had happened inside Reid's head, since he had schizophrenia. Even though this is sad at its core, there's something darkly funny about the theory. Let's learn more about Nathan Harris making a comeback. In Season 2, Reid saved a young man named Nathan Harris with psychopathic tendencies. Nathan Harris wanted to kill and was excited by dead bodies. Harris was put in a mental hospital before he could hurt anyone. Some people think Harris will come back, either as a serial killer or as one of the few unsubs that the BAU misprofiled. He might even become friends with Reid, who was upset earlier that saving his life might make him start killing people. For those who don't know, the actor who played Harris, Anton Yelchin, died in a tragic accident when he was only 27 years old. Coming up, JJ being a psychopath. Even though the show sometimes does things very differently from how the actual BAU unit works, it's clear why it focuses so much on psychopaths and serial killers. As anyone who watches a lot of this viral police procedural crime drama knows, the BAU's a part of the FBI that focuses on violent and serial killings. So, most of the cases are about these kinds of crimes. But a hilarious theory says that the last season will show Jennifer Giroux, who everyone calls JJ, a psychopath. That's why she likes picking such horrible cases for the team to solve. This is ridiculous, of course, because JJ doesn't choose the cases. Instead, she acts as a liaison who tells the unit about a new case, but to each their own. Finally, Reid being bisexual or becoming an unsub. Some Reddit users believe Reid's bisexual. The creator of the show tweeted that he'd loved for Reid to be bisexual, but how he felt about JJ made it hard to keep that storyline going. We thought he was bisexual the whole time, and that this would be shown in the last few seasons. Even though this was a good idea, the showrunners didn't choose to go this way. A popular theory for many years was that Reid would become a serial killer one day, and the team's last mission would be to catch him. Still, not everyone who's awkward around other people and has a bad home life is a serial killer. Even though Reid went through a lot of mental, physical, and emotional trauma, it would have been hard to imagine him going bad. Still, if the writers had chosen that path for Reid, he'd have led the team in quite a dance if they'd done it. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. What do you think of the Criminal Minds reboot? Does it refresh the original series completely? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.